Cindy's shirt says, today's good mood is brought to you by coffee. You guys, I need a shirt that says, today's good mood is brought to you by Diet Coke.
I was waiting for that. I will have that on.
Although I have to tell you, I did not start the day out this way. Today was...
No adulting?
No adulting today. No, I even texted a friend of mine today and said, she said, are you okay? I said, oh yeah, I'm good. I just need an assistant to handle all the things I don't want to do. And also while I'm requesting, I want a vacation from adulthood. And she said, well, if you get one, then I get one because being an adult really stinks. So anyway, it's just all that it's all nonsense stuff that you don't want to spend time on. Like your checking account that starts charging you fees. For what reason? None. You know, so it's just another thing to add to the list. Or I received a letter from the IRS telling me that they've changed my address for me. And so instead of living on Copperwood, I live on Copperwood. And so now I have to call them to fix it. And it says your hold time will be between 45 minutes and 2 hours. I don't have time. Brenda, that's right. Shake that head. I just don't have, who has time? And anybody that says in quarantine you have plenty of time, you're wrong. No, we're busy. So,
right?
Okay.
I got time for that.
Before I started the recording, I told everybody run and get a blank piece of paper and something pretty to write with. And if you are totally feeling like being lazy, I will let you, but you still have to do it, and you have to do the homework assignment and make it pretty later and post it on the Together We Sent page and tag me, because as I said earlier, and I said it earlier when I went live on the page today, I really enjoy sending out Happy Mail, and sometimes for no reason or really any reason, and I get to make up the reason. Or so just like one time when Wendy and Tina both got the Spirit Award? We don't even have a Spirit Award, except I felt like we have a Spirit. Well, I guess we have a Spirit Award. It's just I get to give it out whenever I want to. And so anyhow, enough about that. Here's what I want you to do with your really pretty markers and your blank piece of paper. Okay? Let me get my marker that I want to use. I'll end up writing this like 17 more times because I'm such a perfectionist. You know, shocking. But we are writing on this piece of paper. Ready? I am don't stop writing when I say the next word. Watch this. Watch. I want everybody's pen to keep going. Earning. Becker, keep writing. The Sensi incentive trip exclamation point. Now, I will absolutely have to make this prettier, and I will post it for all of you on Together We Sent, and so I will make it much prettier. But this is getting posted in my office, front and center where I can see it. If anybody needs a vacation after all of this COVID stuff, it's us, because this is all of just a bunch of too much pandemic adulting, and I say we all need and deserve Sensi to take us somewhere. Now, here's the thing. So many times when we say, I am earning the incentive trip, or you hear somebody say, I am earning the incentive trip, people say, that's something Melissa does. That's not something I do. Or that's somebody who's been in this business long enough. They're going to earn the trip. I don't earn trips. I don't work my business to earn trips. And if you don't work your business to earn trips, totally fine. That's fine. I'm so glad you're still on this Zoom. And if you stopped writing when I said earning, or you stopped writing at any point, it's on you. Again, I can only guide you. I can't force you. So, but here's the deal. I'm posting this affirmation where I can see it every single day, because it doesn't matter. Even though I've been in Sensi for as long as I have, I still have to work my tail off to earn the incentive trip. And because it's a family trip, and I have 2 children, that means I need to earn 4 spots. So I better get busy as of like 7 days ago. And so we are going to do this. I'm going to hold you accountable. You're going to hold me accountable. And darn it, we're going to make this happen, which is why tonight we're going to talk about recruiting, sponsoring, and this incentive trip. So, and believe it or not, this is going to be a shorter call tonight. We are going to go short because I have action items for all of us to do. Okay, so the very first thing tonight was writing a sign. I am earning the Scentsy incentive trip. We have until December 31st. Love it. Sarah, we love it, love it, love it. We're earning. We are, incentive trip goes through December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Also, plug for SFR. Dana, that's beautiful. Plug for SFR. We only have a few days left. It's my guess that those of you that get on Zoom, you probably have registered for SFR because you are engaged and in tune. And so I'm certain you registered. But if not, and tell your teams, we have until July 10th to register. I've got some graphics I'm going to post on Together We Sent to remind everybody of that. But did I see anything? The only other thing that I saw on the news tab that is noteworthy at the moment is that the NFL warmer ordering will happen in 2 phases starting in September. So just calling your attention to that. Now, I want to call your attention to the incentive tab on your workstation because all of us are going to earn the incentive trip. Then I want to call your attention to, let's see if I can do this. Sharing my screen. We're going to talk about that in a second. Oh, good. Don't log me out. Okay. When you go to the incentive tab on the side of your workstation, you are going to see an overview, and then that tells how many points that you need to earn the trip. And these are the numbers that matter the most because the big number on the left is a number you completely control. Okay? You completely control this number. If you sold $20,000 in Scentsy, now don't go crazy, people do it, but, or don't think I'm crazy, people do it, but you completely control this larger number, the 20, the 38, the 51. Oh no, wait, I'm wrong. You control the majority of that large number. What? Aside from, hold on, let me. I kind of just let my blood, so I don't want to come outside. Can you throw me down sweater? It's kind of chilly. Hang on, you gotta give me a minute. We are hearing. Okay, there we go. If you're not muted, please mute yourself. I did just mute whoever had background noise. Okay, so the majority, what I meant to say is the majority of this large number that you see on the left, you control by sales, by your own personal promotions or consistency points. But the smaller number is the one that we really want to hone in on, and that is where recruiting and sponsoring really comes into play. You can't earn the trip without these sponsoring points. And so that is why it's really important that we call attention to the 4,600, the 8,200, or the 11,000. Now, when you go to track your progress, there is a printable tracker. So on your to-do list, okay, so now you've got your I am earning this trip. Now on another piece of paper, I'm going to give you a couple action items. Ready? So the very first one that you're going to do, aside from printing up your sign if you think that you need to, is visiting your incentive tab and downloading the printable tracker. Now this printable tracker, super pretty. It looks like this. If it'll let me show it. Can you see it? There we go. Yeah, can you see it? Cassie, nod if you can see my screen. Okay. All right, thanks. So this is a handy dandy fun little coloring sheet as you move along tracking your progress. Now the workstation is going to track your progress for you, and that will, they typically get those going after the first month of the incentive. So probably August that'll be up, but there is something super fun to having a visual, and there is some satisfaction in coloring and filling in this meter yourself. So download that incentive tracker. Then how to earn. I want you to take a look, and I'm not going to go through this and read this with you, but I want you to scroll down in the how to earn. There are some examples on how to start earning points. So if your starting title is a certified consultant, here are some examples of how to earn the trip, okay? If you're a lead consultant, a star consultant, a superstar consultant, director, star director, superstar director, there are ways where they show examples, and there are a million ways to get points, a million different ways to get points, a million different ways that they could be calculated based on how many people that you sponsor, how many times they promote, if you promote, there's a ton of different ways, but these are some great examples. So I would like for you, if you haven't already, to go in and take a good look at this how to earn tab in the incentive. Okay, then how are we going to, let me stop sharing for just a second. I like when Zoom plays friendly, and it doesn't. Hold on, there we go. Okay, I'm back. Jeez, oh man. Maybe if I cleaned my desktop off a little bit, I'd see the stop sharing. I know, does it make you all crazy? It makes me crazy, but that's one of those things I need an assistant for, is, you know, getting to that. But, okay, so recruiting and sponsoring. Here's the biggest misconception with recruiting and sponsoring, that there is a magic formula. And we say this all the time. There is not a magic formula to sponsoring and recruiting. Think about yourself. Why did you start selling Scentsy? How did you approach somebody to start selling? Did somebody approach you to start selling? That's a really good place to start. A lot of times we forget our own reasons that we started selling Scentsy and have a hard time transcribing that into somebody else's reasons why they might be interested in joining. So what I want to do is because we cannot earn the incentive trip without sponsoring or without sponsoring points, okay? And I'm telling you, it is my weakest area. I can talk in front of people. I can host a Zoom. I can sell. I can spoil my customers. I can spoil my team members. I can send happy mail till the cows come home. But what I'm really bad at doing is offering the business opportunity. So right along with you, I have to hold myself accountable to doing taking my own advice, taking my advice on what I'm telling or teaching or guiding you guys to do. We have to get more comfortable in offering this business to other people. Now, here's the deal. We all have learned in the last couple of weeks that the true money in Scentsy comes from building a team. You can control your PRV, which means you control how much you are making. If you sell $2,000 a month, that is a $600 paycheck. And no matter if you sell $2,001 or you sell, even if you sold $10,000 in Scentsy, that's a $3,000 check. Okay, that's amazing, right? Everybody wants to sell $10,000 in Scentsy in a month. It's a lot of hard work. But no matter what, your sales are at a given percentage. If it's under $2,000 in sales, you're making 25% commission. If it is over $2,000 in sales, you're making 30% commission. But when you start building a team, that is when you start increasing your pay and the bonuses start adding up. So for instance, my check is 7 to maybe 10% my own sales. 90% of my check comes from the fact that I've built a team and I've taught my team to do the same thing. Okay? So we all have to sponsor. That's where the money is. Well, we all have to sponsor. That's where the incentive trip is. So in thinking about, okay, what is the easiest way that we can start? Let's pretend we know nothing about sponsoring or recruiting or whatever you want to call it, a lot of times consultants will say, I'm too new. I don't feel comfortable sponsoring somebody. I don't know enough. Okay. I sponsored my very first person in my very first month. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was going to fake it till I made it. I told her, right, you know what? I'm new too, so we're both going to learn. There is never such a thing as too new to start building a team. In fact, the sooner you start building a team, the easier it is because you're learning along with them. You can relate. It's sometimes harder for me because I have to say, tell me what you want to know. I forget what it's like to be a new consultant. I forget what it's like to be certified. Tell me what you want to know. What do you want to learn? Whereas when you're going through it and you're figuring out all these little tidbits or hints, or that's something you could share with somebody that is just starting their journey as well, which is another point. And I'm going to use Brittany and Artie as an example. And you guys are sisters, right? Okay. I'm going to use you guys as an example. Regardless, doesn't matter if you're sisters, your best friends, your sister-in-laws, doesn't matter. Brittany, how long after you started did Artie join your team?
About a month and a half.
Month and a half. And why did she, I'm going to ask you instead of her, why did she join? Did you approach her?
Well, what happened is she had initially placed her first order. And I was actually talking to her about how as a consultant, you get, basically you get to see the warmer and scent of the month first. And her husband honestly pitched the idea to her before I could. Like, I was thinking it, but we had an argument because she had spent just a little too much when she placed her first Scentsy order, so hubby was not happy. And so there was a small, disagreement with that. And so I was like, I'm not pitching this idea to her and getting in trouble again. I already got myself in those shoes once, not doing it again. So then she called me up and she goes, hubby said that I should join. And I'm like, well, you really should, because if you're going to be spending this much money, you can make 20% of that, and just pitch the idea to her. And then throughout the phone call, I kept texting her privately where her husband couldn't hear me. And I was like, you're sure he's not going to get mad about this? You're sure he's not going to get mad? And she's like, well, it's his idea. And then the other day we were talking about it. She goes, it was really your idea. You just let him think it was his idea. I said, exactly.
And let me ask you something. Is it so much fun going through this together? Because you guys are kind of learning. You're both kind of learning. You were in how long did you say you had been in a month and a half?
I am 16 days away from 70 days.
That's right. So she's still within her 70 days, and total kudos. Brittany earned Sensational Start Level 3, which 1% of consultants earn that. So that is incredible. So awesome job. But here's the deal. Thank you. You can mute, Brittany. Thanks for letting me pick on you and Artie.
Oh,
Artie, you want to say something?
She is following right in my footsteps. The day her starter kit came in is the day she ordered her shooting star kit. So she's following right behind me. So it's kind of cool because I'm going and then she's right on my heels.
And it pushes you, doesn't it?
It does. It pushes me further.
It pushes you. Artie, did you want to say something? I may as well give you the floor too.
Yeah, I was just going to say my current PRV is 1634, and I've only been a consultant since the 14th of June.
She really is on your heels for that Sensational Start Level 3. Here's where it comes starting to build a team, Artie. So here's my point though. Especially if so I'm going to talk to two different types of consultants. First, if you are a newer consultant, wouldn't it be fun to do this business with a friend or a best friend or a cousin or somebody that you're close with? And so a lot of times people say, well, we don't want to take business away from each other, right? Brittany, Artie, has this come up yet? We don't want to take business away from each other. There is room for, my sister and I sell. There is tons of sisters in Cincy that sell. There's tons of best friends or family members or aunts and nieces. And there is plenty to go around, because even if you're related, you still travel in different circles. Okay, Brittany? No? Yes.
We had that situation come up, and it's funny, it's ironic because our aunt felt guilty not ordering from each, so she ordered 50 from Artie and she ordered 50 from me, which obviously boosted both of our PRV, and so it actually worked out great.
Yes, it is not a detriment by any stretch of the imagination. So that's talking to newer consultants where maybe you have somebody that would be interested in joining up this business, joining this journey with you, and you guys working it parallel. Now, how about those of us that have been running this business for a long time? Well, I guarantee there's somebody in our lives that we would love doing this business with that we haven't asked. Maybe. Okay, so some of you are looking at me like, well, I've made friends with Cincy, so I'm already doing my business with my friends, right? No, we have to think outside of our veteran Cincy consultant boxes. So this brings me to why I'm challenging us to do the 100 no's. Now, if you, Lisa Godfrey's nodding. Now, I found a way prettier version, and I found an incredible document that talks about getting into the mindset of expanding your business. And I'm telling you, these two things together are going to paint a picture of the direction we need to go in to start building our teams to boost our numbers so that we can promote, so that we can earn sponsoring points, so we can earn trips, so we can earn more money. Okay? So let me show you this. And see, here's what happens. Hold on. I want to tell you this too before I stop. I'm not sharing yet. Here's what happens. There is new consultant excitement about anything that I will give you or tell you or any tool I'll provide or any document. And there is older consultant, veteran consultant, been there, done that, tried that. But I am going to call you out and say that I know I haven't tried certain things to my fullest potential. So I know you haven't tried things to your fullest potential, because it's super easy for us to say we're going to do something or have really good intentions to do it, and we don't. And the only ones that we're hurting by not doing it, or the only ones that we're shortchanging, is ourselves. That's the only ones we're shortchanging. We are our biggest critics and roadblocks. We decide things for people. We decide why they wouldn't be interested in the business. We decide why they wouldn't want another warmer in their kitchen. We decide why they wouldn't want to join Cincy Club. We decide why they wouldn't be interested in laundry. We decide why they wouldn't have a use for a plug-in nightlight in their camper. We make all these decisions for people, and we have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing it, and we've got to get good at not doing it. We have to get good in being the waitress that offers dessert, and when the customer says no, not being offended. Because that waitress is going to go to the next table and offer them dessert. And she's not going to be offended when they say no. We have to get as good as that. And I know some people say, yeah, but that waitress situation is different. And you know what? You and I could argue 10 ways till Sunday on why the waitress situation is different than our situation as consultants. But the fact of the matter is, we have to get as good with our businesses at doing that as that waitress is offering dessert. We have to get as good as that. We have to be able to start thinking, stop running our businesses on luck and start running our businesses on strategy and calculated moves that are worth our time. We can't build a business on luck. You can't make a list of 3 or 4 people, offer them the business, the 4 of them say no, and you say, this doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. We have to get better at saying, look, all of us, however many of us there are on this screen, 46 of us, there are 46 of us on this call, and we are all here for a reason. We're all Scentsy consultants. We all love our businesses. We're all here for the product, for the money, for the friendship, the relationships, the personal development, you name whatever it is. We're here. How come other people don't need that in their lives too? We don't know if they do. And by not asking, we're making the decision for them that they don't need something like this. And when I say when we're not asking, I'm not saying you walk up to every single person and say, you want to join my Scentsy team? Want to join my Scentsy team? Want to join my Scentsy team? Because even I'd say no. Like you would say no to that question, right? If somebody walked up to you and said, hey, you know what? You really should join my Pampered Chef team, right? And you're like, nah, I'm a Scentsy consultant. I'm not interested. And I love Pampered Chef. That was top of mind. So no, I'm not throwing them under. But here's the thing. It's not about that. It's not about outright asking somebody to join your team. It's about building a relationship and listening more than you talk. Listening to where the business opportunity could fit in their life. If you have somebody that says, I feel like I am a slave to my kids, I feel like I've lost my identity and I don't do anything for myself anymore, boom, Scentsy business. I use Bath and Body Works plugins and they don't work. And don't you sell Scentsy? Yep. Boom, business opportunity. She can get her products at a discount. There is ways to listen to the things people say. How about diversifying income? Okay, that might sound like some really over-the-head terminology, but realistically, how many households only have one source of income coming in? Well, in this day and age, it's becoming a little bit more rare. Even if it's a side gig or an Etsy shop or a direct selling business or a selling on the marketplace and putting a bin on your front porch to make some extra cash, people are getting other streams of income, not just one. It's not just my husband gets up and goes to work and he makes the money. Women have ownership in this too. Women are making money. Households are having more streams of income coming in. So don't make the decision for anybody that they wouldn't be interested in that too. Okay, off my soapbox, let me show you the very pretty 100 no's that I found. Share. Here it is. Let me see to make this bigger. But you will be getting a larger copy of it anyways when I post it. But here it is. Each time someone tells you no, you're going to cross off that no, cross off one of the no's listed below. Set yourself a goal to get all 100 no's crossed off within the next 30 days. Okay? What's funny is that it's reverse psychology. Since you're going for the no, you're okay getting a no. Because that's what you're going for. You're trying to get no's. And by trying to get no's, you are going to get a yes or 2 or 3. And also, if you have crossed off all the no's, that means you have at least talked to 100 plus people. Now, in the document that I'm going to share that helps you, it's called the Ultimate Memory Jogger. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and show you it. The Ultimate Memory Jogger, because people say, I don't know that many people. Wrong. In this day and age, we all know way more people than we think. Okay, so let me share again, and let me show you this. You will all, I'm telling you what, this is a document I would totally think I would need to pay for, because I don't know how this is not, it's, I think 70 pages, so you probably don't want to print it until you realize what you might want to use from it. But it's called the Ultimate Memory Jogger. Okay, And I want to call your attention to something. Let me move all these Zoom controls out of the way. And I read through this. It is very fascinating, and it gets you into the mindset of thinking about your business in a different way. And he talks about when people look at network marketing, one of their biggest questions is, do I know anybody? They believe if they know a lot of people, they can have a lot of success. And if they don't know a lot of people, they don't have a chance. Sounds logical, but it's not true. When it comes to finding people to join your teams, there's posers. This is what he calls them. Posers that make a mental list of 3 or 4 or 5 people that will probably join their business. Then their whole future of their business is based around the response of these 3 or 4 or 5 people. If they're lucky enough to get one of them, then they extend the life of their career with this business for a very short time. They might even make another mental list of 3 or 4 people. Hopefully they'll decide to stop being a poser and upgrade to the amateur ranks. So this is very fascinating to read, and it's only, I think, 4 pages. And I highlighted, you need to develop a higher level of awareness. And this will make sense to you when you read through these couple pages. You need to develop a higher level of awareness. You're going to have to pay attention to the world. You're going to be introduced to new people all the time, but posers and amateurs don't even notice. They just go through their day saying, what people? I don't see any people. And that is so true. Sometimes we cross, not sometimes, the majority of the time, we cross paths with people in our daily lives and we don't think outside of the interaction. Here's an example. I have an order that is waiting for a customer to pick up, okay? It's 6 bars of eucalyptus. Wait, I bagged it up. I've got her little Scentsy. I have her laundry sample in here, super cute. It's ready for her to go. And then, as I thought about it, after the fact, I put a Post-it note, you know I love Post-its, that says Scentsy Club. Because she ordered 6 of the same scent of a Bring Back My Bar. She needs to add this to Scentsy Club. And I need to get quicker at thinking Scentsy Club. Just like I need to get quicker and better at thinking of being more aware. I need to get quicker at being more aware. Every situation that we come across is presenting an opportunity to us. What the opportunity is, don't know. We may not know for a while. But regardless, whatever the opportunity is, we have to be aware enough to recognize it. Okay? So there's a couple more pages, but here's what's really cool. So the memory jogger is going to truly jog your memory. It is listing out people upon people upon people upon people in different states, in different countries, different likes, different hobbies. This is going to jog your memory and help you build your list of people that you can get a list of 100 out of. Then it teaches you how to break down that list of people and put them into, hold on, there's lots of pages, and he explains this in this document, how to take that master list and convert them to a hot list, a lead with product list. So this is people where you would cultivate the relationship with them by you leading with the product, getting them hooked on the product first, all the way down to opportunity, direct approach, indirect approach, super indirect approach. And he explains what each of those are, which is really cool because we have those categories of people. There's people that you flat out feel comfortable enough being like, why aren't you doing this with me? And there's other people where you're like, how do I ask them to join my team when I'm super afraid to ask them to join my team? Okay, so I'm going to share the 100 no sheet. I'm going to share the ultimate memory jogger with you. We're going to pretty up our signs because we're going to work toward earning this incentive trip, and we're going to work on our 100 no's. And these conversations, tonight's conversation and the incentive trip conversation, all of this is going to be something we're addressing each week on Zoom. We're going to touch on it. We're going to touch on each of these. We're going to build on this. So regardless of the topics that we have coming up, we are going to touch on this because it's important. We need to get good at it. And Mary Jane had a really great idea too that we'll incorporate in the coming weeks of even doing a little bit of role playing to so that you can see what these kinds of conversations, how we can become a little bit more comfortable, even if it's sharing why you love Scentsy. Why do you love Scentsy? Have you said it out loud to anybody? Have you said out loud to anybody why it is that you love your business? Because 9 times out of 10, what you end up loving about your business is more than just your house smelling amazing. Okay? I'm going to share all of this with you. I appreciate you for getting on. I feel very passionate about tonight's topic. I feel passionate about getting to work with all of you and us earning this trip and us doing these things together, because regardless, if you joined a month and a half ago or you joined 13 years ago, we all still have to do the same activities to succeed. Cool? You all are the best. Thank you for coming on to the Tuesday Zoom. Have a great night.